Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat, and so what we're going to do today is start a little tab journal, and I'm not going to make any promises that this is going to get done real quick because it just depends on the time that I have. I'm trying to do extra videos and all, stuff. So anyway, I have 3 cards here with the little tabs on them, and I'm going to show you how to make those. You need 6 pieces of paper cut at 3.5 inches by 4.5 inches. I am using a heavyweight craft cardstock. I don't know the exact weight on this. I don't have the packaging anymore, and I've had it for a long time. So anyway, it's a nice heavyweight cardstock. But I mean, you don't have to use super thick cardstock because if you add other papers to it, it's going to thicken it up anyhow. Sorry, I have ink all over my hands and everything else. But anyways, what we're going to do is first you're going to cut, 4 of the tabs at the end. So how you want to do that is put your end, line up your end in the envelope punch board. There's a metal part in the envelope punch board, and you're just going to kind of put the piece of paper in the center of that little metal thing in there. And if you don't have an envelope punch board, the best I can tell you is maybe find like a manila file folder or something that you could trace the tabs, or something like that. I don't know what else would work. So yeah, that's the only suggestion I have on that one. Or if you can find some type of things like this to buy. I know that Tim Holtz has a die that has little sort of file folder things. It's a full file folder, but you could cut the ends off or whatever. Anyway, then after you cut this side, you're going to move your piece of paper until the little corner right there is at 1 3/4. So there's 1 3/4. Okay. And you punch it again, and then you can see you have your little tab, which I don't know why my envelope punch board isn't always cutting the whole piece of paper all the way very well. And then you're going to cut this piece off straight so that you have the tab sticks up above the paper. Sorry, I just drew a complete blank right there. So I'm going to try to cut it as straight as I can. I do stink at this, I have to say. Okay, so I need to go just a little shave more. You can use a cutter to do this too if you're talented enough. I'm also not very talented at that. So anyway, we're going to make 4, or you will make 4 like that. I have already done some of mine, so I only have to do 2 like that. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to put it in my envelope punch board halfway to the middle, halfway through the middle piece there. Punch it, and then I'm going to take my little point and go to 1 3/4. And I'm going to punch it again and do the same thing. Cut this off, and you'll do that 4 times. See, I just am awful at this straight cutting thing. Okay, so now I'm going to take this one and flip it over. Now I have a tab at each end. That's all that is. Then to get the middle tab, I ruined, I don't know how many pieces of paper trying to figure this out, but anyway, I figured it out, so I'll tell you guys. You're going to take the point of this paper, the point of this paper, and go to 1 3/8 on the envelope punch board. 1 3/8 right there. And you're going to punch. Okay, then you're going to do the same principle as you did before. You're not going to have the exact little point, but you're going to come to the middle of this dip. There's like this dip, so you want to think of a point being right there. You're going to move that over to the 1 3/4 spot. So that 1 3/4 line, just think of it as going right through the middle there, right? And you're going to punch again. And then this time you're going to cut off these 2 sides as best you can. If you're like me, it's not going to be perfect. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and do the same thing on this side. Yeah, my envelope punch board's not cutting super great. I'm thinking it's the thickness of this cardstock as well, though. It's pretty thick stuff. Okay, so now you're going to be able to have one at the top, one in the middle, and one at the bottom, like that. So you got a whole file folder thing happening. And then you're going to do the same thing again. It's going to be one at the bottom, one in the middle, and one at the top. And then when you hinge it all together, you just have the nice little tabs sticking out there. Woo! Okay. So pretty easy to do. You just gotta play with it. And then, as promised, I'm going to use my Halloween digi. My spooky past digi. I have my glue book. I have the small pages that I included in this digi. So they're like 4 of them on one page instead of 1 on a page. I just thought they would be fun to do one of these little minis with. I didn't know exactly what kind of mini I was going to do, but anyway. So you can see that on this piece of paper, half of it doesn't like cover it entirely, but I like to do other collaging and stuff on it. You could make your cards smaller if you wanted it to fit half of one of these pages, or you could do a bigger one. It's just kind of an odd orientation, but that doesn't really matter, and have it, you know, a whole page on one background tab thing. But I'm going to do the whole half deal like that, and I'm just going to collage and do some other stuff. I did one in black that was smaller. I'll kind of show you. That would take exactly half a page, but for one, the black seemed too dark, but if you like it really dark like that, then you can use black cardstock as well. I just felt like I couldn't do a lot else with it because it was so small. So that's why I chose to go with the bigger one, but you can do a smaller version if you want just exactly half of the page, if you see what I'm saying. All right. It was just my own personal preference because I want to put other stuff on there and I want to tear the edges and stuff like that. So that's why I chose to make it just a tad bigger. So how y'all doing? I hope you're doing fabulous. I am doing pretty darn good. Just like I said, it's kind of nutty around here with all the things going on, but that's really nothing new. It's always kind of nutty around here. I'm just tearing it. I'm not getting super technical about the measurements, but if you want cut edges instead of torn edges, totally, you can measure and make it all straight edges and all of that. I have no issues. You do you. Do it the way you like it to see it. Okay, so see, it's going to be a smaller bit, but I'm fine with that. Okay, I'm going to use ink, and I think I'm going to use some black inks and orange and whatever I feel like to kind of do these backgrounds up a little bit, make them fun. So I think this, I'll do the black. I don't know how well this is going to work. This distress ink is really, really old, but we'll see what we can get out of it. It might be kind of good because it'll just give me a kind of a smoky look on it. And I don't have a Distress Oxide in black set. I need to get one. But this is perfect because I just want it to have that sort of grungy, smoky look, but not be entirely black. And then I might go ahead and use some of the carved pumpkin, which is quite orange indeed. I just want a little kind of on the edges, I think, because it's pretty, it's a little tamer on craft cardstock than white cardstock. Just grungy, making it grungy. And we'll just do a couple pages and then I'll let you guys go and then we'll work on it another day, you know, like we do. So I know some people are not real ready for the whole Halloween thing, but I have fun with it, so I wanted to do it. And I still haven't had anybody that has my spooky art dolls, which I'm really bummed about because I just don't know where on earth those disappeared to? I had them on a Google Drive. I had them Etsy. It's just the weirdest thing in the world to me that those vanished like they did. So I don't know what to say, and I have people that want them, and I may try to recreate them somehow, but it's not going to be anytime real soon because we just have too much happening. So hopefully if I can do that, I'll have it done before Halloween, but I just don't know. I'm just really bummed about that. That is so aggravating to me that those just vanished. I'm going to use some crackly backgrounds here. There's my... And these are just, what do you call them? Silicone stamps or whatever. And this one's from my friend Tammy. It's a Tim Holtz, and it comes with a cup, you know, another stamp and stencil, and yeah. But any kind of crackly thing will work. It doesn't have to be like this one. I think I might use this bigger one. And I got this one, I believe, off of BB Craft, I think. I don't know. I've had it for a while. In Love Art Shop, maybe. And I don't know if they would still have it or not. I have no idea. Sorry, I'm trying to think how I want to do this. I love it when your brain's like, oh. I kind of want some on the tab because that's what you're going to see the most. So I think I'll do that first. It kind of almost looks like a spider web in a way. Okay, so that'll just give it, you know, some grunginess and that kind of spooky feel. This is why I wanted to use the lighter paper, because then I could add things to it that you could see. If I do black, there's not a whole lot you're going to see on that. So let's add this little piece. And this was just a piece of that newsprint paper, wrapping paper, or like packaging paper that I did mark making on, just with black watered down acrylic and a paintbrush, and just made all kinds of crazy marks. That's all that is. Okay, we need a few other things. Oh, I still have a piece of this. This is a piece of that envelope that we used. That's really cool. And I don't think I have any more of that. I would love to have more of that one. I'll have to dig through all my security envelopes and see what I got, because that one's cool. Let's do I'm gonna do this. Sorry. This ink thing's gonna be the enemy. So yeah, my son's getting ready to go to school. My daughter's in band camp. Like I said, my aunt's coming, the one that lost her son. It'll be good to see her. Yeah, so we just got stuff's happening. Getting ready to go on our trip. And then this piece will go here. And it's hotter than the blazes here. It's just been the weirdest weather. I think I want to go a little darker on these edges. Maybe we'll do just a tiny bit of purple too. Oops. Oh, maybe that's kind of cool, huh? Let's do some glue right there. Okay, get the yuck off of here. All right, what else do I want on that? I have some of these cut out, or not cut out, obviously. Printed out is the word I'm looking for. Do I want the Halloween one won't fit? Well, the smaller Halloween one might. Let's see. Scissors are hiding from me. It does say haunted already, but we could do ghost. These are in my Spooky Stamps digital download. And I just printed them in smaller sizes. And like I've said before, I use an app that you do have to purchase. I think it's not that expensive. But anyway, it's called Print to Size. I think I might use Ghost. And that works great for me. But if you have like a printer or a program or something else that does that for you, then obviously you don't need to get that. But a lot of people ask me how I make stuff smaller and bigger or whatever. And that's the app I use, is Print to Size. I have an iPad and an iPhone, so the apps and things are just the easy way for me to do it. I think what I'll do is kind of just center it and then trim a little bit off of the sides so that it seems to fit on there better. Because it is a little weird. I know I stamped all that, now I covered it all up. But yeah, that's the way it is. That's how we do it. Okay. I need smaller scissors for that. I never know what's going to show and what isn't by the time I'm done, so let's use sponge just falls apart. That's why I don't love those. The idea I like, but for some reason mine just fall apart. Maybe I'm too rough. It's very possible. Okay, I'm going to stop with that one and flip it over and we'll see what we can do. I think that'll be my cover, so I may add more stuff to it, but for now we're going to just move on because I don't know what I want to do, so I'll use the other half of this one, or maybe I'll do a pocket or something on this page. Let's do a background instead. Like some of these leaves. I'm going to do it a little larger because I'm going to tear off this other side. And these leaves are also in the Spooky Past. And everybody's going to mow the lawn. It's the way of it, right? So in this way, I'm probably not going to use all the pages of this digi, because I've only got 6 pages, and there's 8 pages of the digi. If I did front and back, if I covered every one with one of those, it would work, but I want to do some pockets and some things like that too, so. And I didn't get all the stuff cut out, so I apologize for that, but I was just trying to, you know, get on and get a video for you guys for Friday today for you guys. Ink around that. Double E probably. See, that's why I don't love the black. I mean, the brown gets on my hands too, but I don't know. It doesn't seem to get on everything quite as bad. I want some of this. I don't think any of that's small enough. I don't know. Let's work on a pocket instead of the tab at the moment. I did shrink some of them down even further. I could actually almost use those as pockets. I think they're quite small enough still. He's pretty spooky, and I'll back him. So I'm just going to do a rough tear just to get him out, and I'm going to back him with a piece of this coffee dye, even though I know you're not going to see it, but just to make that page stiffer. Actually, what I'll use is this glue book because it is about ready to be torn out. It's all sticky. Especially since I put a big blob of glue there. Since it's got ink and the whole 9 yards on it, right? With no smiles, these guys, it's just slightly terrifying, honestly. They're just so serious. But it works perfect for this Halloween thing, so that's good. Okay, so that will make a little pocket on our page. Maybe I'll do it on this side because this side is going to have tabs. Something to think about, right? I'll go ahead and even it up. I think that'll look a little bit better. Right. Okay, let's use a little fabric with that to bring some of that color into there. These are obviously just little bits of fabric I have. I think I'm going to go stitch around this. So, sorry. I'm going to stitch around the picture and sort of stitch that on to the pocket before I glue it onto there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So you can see I did a stitch across there, all jaggedy back and forth on going forward, and then back stitching and forward and back stitching. And then just a zigzag here with a little back stitch, left threads sticking out, added extra threads here and up here, and you can see again I went back stitch, forward stitch, back stitch, you know, just to get that kind of crazy stitching on there. But it's just a straight stitch, just going forward and backward and moving the paper obviously because it's not lined up, right? So okay, so we're going to put this on as a tuck, so I'm going to go along here on this side. You can see the stitching better back here. And I'm going to line that up. Need a paper towel. Okay, so it's kind of a big tuck for this page, but you want to be able to put something in there, so you know. Let's see, what can we put in there? I made some of these smaller as well, the tags and things, just because the other ones were way too big to go in there. So let's maybe use and again, I use that print to size is how I made it smaller. Yeah, I'm really super bummed about those spooky art dolls because I just can't even imagine what in the world. All that's left on my Google Drive is the original faces that I drew. So, I mean, at least I have those. I can use those, but I'm just saying, so aggravating. Because the hours that go into like cutting out the bodies and all that kind of stuff to use with them, it's, you know, it takes a while. So that's a bummer. Okay, let's use this again and we'll back it, and then we'll back it again with some, oh actually I could glue it on this side and then it'll already be backed with that kind of neat crackle on there and stuff. That was cool little deal there. Okay. That one's tiny, but see, that's cool. Thickens up our tag a bit, and I'll probably do some fabric up there and stuff too, but for now I'm just gonna put it in there. Then we need to figure out what we're going to do with our little tab. It might be fun to use one of these things from Tim Holtz because some of them are pretty tiny. Add a little purple to this too. Now that I see the purple there. Isn't that funny? How it does that. Okay. In the dead of night, in the darkness. Maybe we'll do in the darkness. I feel like it needs a little something else under there too, like maybe some of this old paper. And maybe some of these red threads. So we can just kind of put those on there. Put some glue on that. Come on now. Almost none of those threads poked out, huh? And I am going to put glue on this just because I've added all those weird layers and stuff. I add a couple more threads since I covered them entirely, right? I might also stitch around these pages. I don't know yet, because I'm going to have to hold on some of those little bits like that. Okay, so I like that. That needs more. I just don't know what I want to put on there yet. Oh, Lost in the Woods. Sorry, I get reading those and then I kind of like the Lost in the Woods. It needs a little something else with it though. This is a really cool design on sewing tissue, obviously. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna put this on and let you guys go since everybody in the world's gonna mow, make noise, and everything else right now. And I need some lunch. Yes, I'm on a tangent. And the garbage truck's here too. Oh my goodness. I had no idea. I apologize. There goes the air conditioner. I should just turn on the Glowforge too, and we'll just have a grand old time. Words. Okay, I do like that. So I think I will do stitch around there. And maybe like a stitch up here somewhere. Like that forward backward thing. So I'll be right back. I'll show it to you, and then we'll do this another day. I'll be right back. Okay. So here it is, all stitched around. I did do some stitching up here, which you can also see on this side. Added extra threads, clipped them. Yeah, so that's that. And here's our little tag, and I just did, you know, fabric up there and did all this crazy stitching again. And that'll just tuck right in there. So that's where we're at so far. So hopefully you guys like this, and maybe we'll make one of your own using the little pages. And even if you don't do Halloween, make one of the little tab books with just Tim Holtz paper and whatever, you know. I just think they'll be fun when they're all finished. So anyhow, I will talk to you guys again soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Love ya. Bye now.